You're going to be shocked to find out the new proposal by President Obama is one that was basically a Republican proposal. His idea is to overhaul regulation, meaning get rid of more regulation, to save, in their estimation, $10 billion over the next 5 years. And they are going to do, and they have already gone through all the different departments and said we can get rid of this, we can get rid of that. Now, do I mind this program overall? No, if you're getting rid of stupid regulations that are hurting businesses and not helping, am I in favor of it? Of course! Now, my concern is that you get a little overzealous about that and you get rid of some regulations that actually are needed, right? Now, that devil's in the details, and so far, those details are unclear. So I'm not saying that they're doing the wrong thing. They might be getting rid of the right things, okay? Now, is it relevant that the Republicans put pressure on them to do this? Of course. Bloomberg writes about it, and they say President Barack Obama, facing criticism from Republicans in Congress about his policies, is rolling out new initiatives, yada, yada, yada. And by the way, one of his new initiatives is also tax cuts. Now, look, one of the things I'm concerned about is you get rid of some regulations, and it might have consequences. For example, we just passed new regulations to make sure that our food is safe. And lately, it hasn't been. There's been a spate of food-related illnesses. Strawberries containing E. coli killed one person in Oregon, sickened at least 9 others. Ground turkey contaminated with salmonella poisoned 100 people nationwide, killed 1. Imported papayas tainted with salmonella, sickened at least 99. Sprouts grown in Ohio were linked to salmonella illnesses in 5 states, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, actually, they just passed legislation on this, which is good. You should give credit to the Obama administration on that. But when it turns out it comes to enforcing it, the Food and Drug Administration says we don't have any money. And they just did budget cuts, and they want us to do this whole new thing about how to make sure we keep the food safe, but they didn't allocate any money to it. In fact, they cut our budget. So they say it's not really possible. Here, let me give you one quote. This is from Mike Taylor, the Deputy Commissioner for Foods under the FDA. Quote, the stark choice is whether we find the resources or we forego implementing this law the way Congress intended. You can't build something brand new without the resources to do it. Okay? Makes all the sense in the world. One other thing that they are getting rid of is the Fairness Doctrine under the FCC. Now, I don't like the Fairness Doctrine. That says it's an old school rule that they, of course, in reality got rid of 20 years ago, but they're actually wiping it from the record books. And again, the story out of the Hill says, responding to Republican pressure, you can almost start any Obama story that way. So responding to Republican pressure, President Obama made sure to wipe out the Fairness Doctrine from the books so that it did not get applied in any way, shape, or form. The Fairness Doctrine used to say that, hey, if a conservative is going to say this or a liberal is going to say that on air, you have to give equal time to the other side. I don't agree with it. I don't think that's how democracy works. And if that's all they did and that was the whole context, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I can't stand every story starting with facing Republican criticism, President Obama did this. Now, I tell you all of this as a prelude to, did it work? Now, President Obama, as we just told you, is getting rid of $10 billion worth of regulation for businesses. He just got rid of the Fairness Doctrine at the FCC. There's not enough money at the FDA to even control the salmonella and E. coli outbreaks, et cetera. So after doing all those things that the Republicans wanted, was it enough? Well, let's go to Bill O'Reilly and find out.
Now, fair-minded Americans understand that presidents deserve downtime with their families, and these guys do work on vacation just as I and millions of other folks do as well. And here's the no-spin upside. It's absolutely better for all of us, if President Obama stays out of economic matters for a while, because at this point he's not helping. Obamacare, job killer, no question. Tax hikes during a recession, poison a business, which is now scared to expand. Increased federal regulations, cutting into profits and causing banks to hoard, not lend money. The debt debate debacle, incredibly harmful to the American economy.
Break it down one by one. The debt debate debacle? The Republicans caused that. Obama literally gave 100%. He said, all right, I won't do a single tax hike. You guys win. And now what do the Republicans do? They turn around, they blame him for it. They say, see, that was his fault, very hurtful to the economy. Obamacare, he says, no question it hurt jobs. Really? I think there's a massive question. I don't love the bill, but where's your evidence that it hurt jobs, that it causes unemployment? No evidence whatsoever. The main point here, he says, oh, the regulations against the banks, et cetera, and against our businesses are destroying jobs. One, there's absolutely no evidence of that. Number two, President Obama just launched the initiative to make sure he gets rid of all those regulations. Was it enough? Nope. Not only does he not get a single shred of credit for that, they do the opposite. They say, oh, see, he's still overregulating. No matter how much he gives them, it's never enough.